Russian tie sequence off the clinch position. Okay, so this is something my wrestling coach Kevin Orlandi, I just got to give him a shout out, but you see this everywhere. You'll see you know, a lot of this in obviously all different wrestling videos. When we get into this nice configuration with Jay, who's just working on upstairs, into the collar tie, right? So I'm in my collar tie. We talked about this upstairs where I could, if Abby's got her hands out, right, I could do the slap grip collar tie, and I'm in nice control with my head, right? If I lose this arm and this person gets to a neutral position, this is a clinching position. We're both 50-50 in the collar tie, okay? So I want to move around, right? I want to be in my nice wide stance. I'm heavy with the collar tie, bringing the elbow to my hip. You guys can use whatever lead leg you want. There's different schools of thought on the lead leg forward or the lead leg back that's on the collar tie side. Okay, so we're nice and heavy using the head. I'm not looking down at the ground, okay, because this is going to be easy for Abby to get me in that same move. Jay was just going over the guillotine options, right? So I want to think about my forehead looking at her shoulder. Ultimately, I'll even use this to look at her temple so I can off balance her, right? But I just want to talk about how we can get to the Russian tie, especially if we can't, if there's no space like to come in for an underhook setup, right? We can't strip this off. I can't move this arm. She's really in tight with this elbow. Okay, so she's got a lot of pressure. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in for this Russian. So I'm going to step up, and I'm going to use my body to shear behind her elbow. So I come up, and I look away. So I'm looking in the same direction she is, right? I want to get a nice 2-on-1 grip. You see how I step behind her? I don't want to step here. Okay, she can come in and grab my leg. Yep, she can go in for a single. She can get to my back if I lost this grip, right? So I want to make sure I'm either perpendicular or lateral to her, where I'm right behind her. I'm getting this nice armpit shoulder grip. I like the wrist fat of the palm grip, and I'm going to bring my chest heavy on the elbow. This puts pressure and this breaks her posture. Okay, then we'll get perpendicular, but I want you to just practice getting into the Russian, okay? So we're here in the position, we're neutral. Even if I have this hand, which is really, it's a normal grip to bring the hand on the bicep, but I don't want to keep it here when I'm trying to do the Russian. It's gonna kind of feel janky and get in the way. So once I'm here, I end up stepping and right away come in. I'm putting a lot of pressure. Okay, this is the position I want to get to. Okay, I'm in a good stance. I'm breaking her posture down. I'm using my body on her arm. Okay, anybody need to see that again? Yes? Yes? Okay. Here we are in our neutral spot. I'm going to come up. I'm going to do this slow. Up. I'm using my chest to get behind the elbow, and I'm really putting pressure on her arm. I've got almost like an arm wrestling grip here. I'm controlling the wrist / fat of the palm, and I'm really controlling the shoulder. I'm putting pressure down, okay? Make sense, guys? Let's just practice for a little bit getting there, a few reps back and forth, okay? 1, 2, 3. We're gonna talk about our figure 4 grip, okay? So this is gonna be the figure 4 that we're gonna use to kind of shovel her down to the ground. So same thing, right? I'm in my position, we're in our neutral clinch position here. So I'm gonna come up, boom. And I'm going to grab that wrist right away so I can isolate it. I don't want it to just slip out, right? So I need the control. So we're in our position, I'm nice and heavy. Now, what I want to do here, I don't want Abby to just come in and get her head on the inside. She could start driving. So I'm going to get my head on the inside. I step a little more perpendicular to her. I've got nice control, right? I can start using this to create the angles. I want to keep her in this direction. Now guys, anytime, if I'm here and I'm just really lateral and she doesn't do anything, I can always shuck this arm across and just come to the back, okay? And we've got other options from there. So just keep that in mind depending on the person's response. But if we get here, right, I get into my position, I'm here. Now I'm gonna start switching my grip to a C grip on the wrist. I'm gonna hold down on the arm. I wanna get my elbow pit under her armpit And then I'm gonna come in, and I kind of like this elbow grip versus like grabbing my wrist. I feel really comfortable here. This is a nice controlled figure 4. Now I'm gonna start driving into Abby. I drive in, she's not gonna like that. She's gonna drive back. As she does, I bring her down to the ground. I can start coming in and controlling. If she gets to turtle, and I get to the hips, most tournaments you'll get 2 for the takedown if I control the hips, right? Or we can get into some kind of side control variation. It might turn into a little bit of a scramble, but I'll haul her down and I wanna get to a nice control spot. So when I get to this figure 4, I'm not loose with my arms. I'm not below her elbow. She can pull her elbow up. Yep. Okay, so I'm nice and locked in, and I'm using my body to weight her down. That's what's getting her to the mat along with her momentum, right? So if I'm just trying to detach and use my arms, Abby's not gonna move, right? So we're here, I'm driving in. She pushes back, right? Boom. I haul her down. If I can get into a cradle position, whatever, that's great, side control. Or if she gets to turtle, right? Then I can control the hips. So let's look at that one more time from the clinch. Collar tie setup, we're here. I'm gonna come in, boom. Then right away, I get to my grip. I really want you to make sure you're connecting high into the armpit. I like this C grip because I'm pulling down already. Here feels kind of funky, right? I want this grip. Control, use the head. Drive, she pushes back in. Haul her down. So I'm going for gift wrap, isolating, whatever I want from that. Does that make sense, guys? Any questions? Yes. Yeah.
So what's preventing her from squaring up with you again?
So yeah, come on up. So if we're here, right, and she starts to square up,
yeah.
Like I've got my head here.
Oh, and
right?
She's following.
I'm pushing into her. Right? It's gonna be hard to do that if I'm lateral. We were talking about this the other day in noon class. I don't know if you were there. We're like, I can't just walk her with my hips. At this point, I'm just gonna come around and shuck her away and come to her back, right? But what I don't want is, like, if she comes on the inside, right, she's gonna use her head win that inside space, right? Then we got the defenses we're gonna talk about, okay? But this opens up a ton of options. Like I said, I could always shuck to the back, or I could even, if she like postures up here, right, I can start coming in for a single, okay? So it's a great little hub, okay? We'll talk about what happens when they defend next, okay? You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. So let's look at a natural defense to this. So everything's the same, right? We're here, boom, get to my Russian, I load in the figure 4. What's Abby gonna do? She's gonna try and square up, and she's gonna post on my head. Hand is gonna post, exactly. She wants to separate herself and square up. This might start unraveling, right? No problem. So what I'm gonna do here now, I'm gonna get a C grip under the elbow towards the tricep. Not this way, because I wanna control the arm. So nice C grip, I've gotta do a pop and squat, right? So I'm gonna pop and squat, and then I'm gonna come in and give her a nice bear hug. Okay, I could like cinch her in, fold her down, and just take her down to the ground. But this is how she should look. Turn around. Okay? So I'm trapping this arm, ideally, and I'm coming up and cinching in. Right? If I can't take her down here in this bear hug, I can come to the side, we can do a knee tap, I can come to the back. This is what I love. Right? We've got options from here. I'll show you real quick. I really want to just program the defense, but just so you have some options if you want to practice the takedown. You could do a lateral drop. I'm going to step, turn my hips. So my heel just comes behind her. I'm not tripping her, kicking her. I'm cinching in, and she's just going to float over my leg. Come right up. Or if I get behind her, and we're here, we could do a nice smelly finish. If she pops her hips forward to try and break my lock, I can do this. Or if she comes in, let's come back in, and she posts her hands on the mat. Yep, if she gets here, I can drop down, head, in the booty, grab the ankles, and then I drive and pull. And then I can come in and control the hips, okay? So whatever variation you want to utilize, go for it, or you could just get the control. So we're here. I'm going to come in, rush in, get my grip. She's going to start, even if I'm here, I might not get to the figure 4. I might just get here and she starts to post. Yep, exactly. So now I'm going to come in, boom. Coming in hug with the hips, right? So I'm just crossing her arms like this. I can't, when she's here, I can't just move her. Like, she's going to stiff arm. She's not going to let me do that. She's not going to let me just move her arm, right? So I really need to do my squat at the same time to detach. It's like I'm doing a duck under and then I'm coming right back up to posture. Okay? So, yep.
If as you do that, she gets her arm around the other side of your head, then
For like a guillotine?
yeah, like you said, you want the arms crossed. What if the top arm like gets back around?
So if I'm here, right, yeah, if we're here, if I'm like coming down like this, she could wrap, right, with the head. So that's gonna be a little hard from this position where I'm at. Like I'm here, she's posting, right? So there's space, right? So I'm not gonna pop and come like this, right? We're here, pop and squat, posture, up, okay? So that's a great question. I don't want to ever just bend over or lean over, right? Then, yep, she's going to do all that stuff. So, last option that we're going to go over today. This is one, like I said, the coach Kevin showed me. You'll see this combines some judo with wrestling, right? We're going to off balance here and go for this nice foot stomp. We're going to say it's maybe like the Showgirl, and we're doing like a little dip, dipping our partner, so it's very much a dance move. But you'll see J-Flo does this a lot. Justin JT Flores, he's awesome. He's black belt in jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestled, all that. So I have some videos on this if you guys want to see them. But this is going to be a little bit of a different grip, okay? So if Abby has this arm here, right, we're going to come in, instead of getting to the 2-on-1 here, or the armpit control, right, and wrist control, I'm going to come into the back of her neck. So my fingertips are going to grab, not my nails, right, my finger bed, are going to grab the muscle here and create a handle, okay? So when we're in this position, right, we're here tied up, I'm going to come in, I might smack the back of her head, okay? This is where I'm getting. So I still have the wrist control and then this neck control. And you're going to see I'm going to use my elbow to my hip to rotate her back eventually. But what happens when we're in this position? I don't want to land in front, right? We're going to get perpendicular. When I get here, a lot of times people are going to want to square up with me. So she squares up, right. Okay, so let's come back. We're lateral, which they don't want their back being exposed, right? So that's why they're squaring up. We get here, I'm close to her back, she doesn't like it. She steps with her right foot, and then that makes her left foot light, right? So the timing is going to be the hardest thing on this. So we can get it on the square up. If we miss it, I'm going to show you how to walk them forward and create that movement so that we can catch them off balance, okay? So we're here, right? We're in this position. I come here, there's the smack. I'm lateral, she thinks, okay, I don't want to come in. So when all her weight's on that right foot, let's program that slow. All the weight's on the right foot, this leg's light, the instep of my foot just comes to her heel. I'm not kicking my partner, okay? She's light on this foot, we're gonna kick, and I'm gonna rotate her back, right? So it should look like that. I wanna lift the leg when it's light, okay? We're here. Boom, I get to this position, she squares up, right, and I missed it. So I'm gonna just start bringing her forward, forward, until I can get the off balance. Does that make sense? I don't wanna look down at the ground when I get to that position. If I look down and try and kick, I'm not gonna take her upper body back, right? So I wanna bring my hips forward into it. So I'm bringing her, woo, and then connect once you get to the ground, okay? So practice that, bringing them forward, and then I'm kicking, and I'm using my elbow on the neck, right? I'm not gonna trip you, but like I'm dipping my partner, right? We're dancing, we're going for a dip,
That's so beautiful.
okay? Plus the sweep.
So you don't really use your eye to count when her leg is going to be available for the sweep. You just kind of feel it.
You can feel it, but you can look like you're gonna have to time it,
Yeah.
and, you know, initially when you're first doing this. So as I'm here and my head's in, right? Sure, I'm like looking, my gaze is down at the ground. Once she steps and she's light, as I come up and I'm kicking, I look up. Because if where the head goes, the body follows. If I look down, that's going to be really hard. So program it really slow. The thing to really understand here is that I'm not doing it from here. I'm doing it from this neck grip. Okay? And you can try getting it off the square up. If you can't get that timing down, keep it moving. I can't try and foot sweep someone that's standing still. Right? So this is in the off balance. Get them to move, and that's when you catch them off guard. Make sense, guys? Okay. Give it a shot. 1, 2, 3.